couldn't get it. I couldn't get the tag of the truck. This customer comes every day. Everybody knows him. So this is one.
So whenever he come back, you want to press charges on him too?
Yeah. He's out. It's a Charger and battery, double pack batteries, 179, 149.
Do you have any knife or anything on you right now? Don't reach for anything. I'm asking. Do you have anything on you? Yes. Okay. Stand up. Put your hands on the wall.
He's very little English, so I'm not sure.
Oh. Pon las manos en la pared. Arriba. No te vayas a mover, okay? Okay. We're gonna take this off. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Pon las manos atrás. Pon las manos atrás. Te voy a meter un taseazo. Las manos atrás. Te voy a meter con el taser. Put your hands in the back.
On the 21st of June 2023, in Florida, officers responded to a Home Depot following an internal theft investigation. A lumber department supervisor had been identified as the primary actor in an organized merchandise theft scheme. The incident raises several distinct legal questions worth examining, starting with the criminal statutes at play.
It's an internal, an associate that I think he's admitted to stealing like over $6,000 worth of merchandise over a long period of time.
He's here now?
Yeah, he's in the office now with my manager.
When the officers arrived, they were met by loss prevention, who had uncovered the employee's scheme to steal thousands of dollars in merchandise from the store. Loss prevention would explain exactly how the scheme worked.
The sergeant detained at the manager's office. I'm walking my way over there now.
Boss man, I'm right outside the office. Here's my manager right here.
Hello, sir. Yep. How you doing?
I can show you here real quick.
Sure.
So basically what happened, had a lumber associate, actually the department supervisor, on May 17th when we first found out. He was actually watching an external person going out with merchandise and saw that the department supervisor was there when he walked out. So I was like, leave him alone. That's weird because if he's standing there, how come he didn't check the receipt and confirm that that merchandise was paid for?
Yeah.
Roll back video and confirmed that not only did he let him go out with unpaid merchandise, that he helped him select merchandise.
Oh.
Watched him place power tools in between the lumber, hide it. We have it on video, hide it in between. Let the roll-up door up and let the guy walk out.
Which is not a regular exit. That's an exit just to load up.
Instance with the same customer. The customer just goes to him, the customer just comes, get a bunch of lumber, puts it on a lumber cart, even branded stuff, gets it off the shelf, places it on the lumber cart, stands there and have a conversation with it. He rolls up the door, he never checks the receipt or anything like that, and lets the guy roll out. Puts it in the truck. So after the investigation was completed from Atlanta, they sent me a packet back in color, and unpaid merchandise. So I just finished, he's in the office now, I just finished having a conversation with him. He was giving me, going back and forth, no, I don't remember, I don't know what happened, maybe I was confused. You're not confused, you know the problem, you know the process. You know, he even told me, I didn't know I had to check the receipt, I had a lot of stuff going on at home. We all got stuff on, but we have to follow the process. You can't just let unpaid merchandise out. So he finally admitted, I have a statement here. That's a statement. He still talks about not letting, not checking receipt, it's his mistake. I just let unpaid merchandise for the same customer. One time, yeah. Multiple times, no, it doesn't happen. He checks receipts for other customers when they go out, but this particular customer here, he was allowing them to go out. So I was trying to get him to admit, hey, did the guy say, you hook him up? And, he said, that he wouldn't admit to, but he admitted to allowing the guy to go out with merchandise. He's been with the company. He's been with the company since 2020, so not that long.
Your name is Victor, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Victor, my question is the follow. Are you guys going to press charges on him? Okay. So let me go grab him because before he take off or whatever, let's go grab him, put him in the car, and then we.
1491 hang up. So we have to terminate him in the system. So
that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
You just want to put him in the car?
Yeah, let's put him in the car, and then you terminate it, and we tell him you wanted him trespass too. We trespass him. He cannot come over here again, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need a copy of this so I can put it in the report.
Okay.
Let's go grab him. So.
That's the same customer here. This guy comes every day. He's like a contractor. And this is from corporate. And basically what they did when we sent investigation to them, all they do is confirm with the SKU numbers that's attached to the merchandise. Was the merchandise on the order? Was it paid? And none of this merchandise was actually paid. That was on May 8th. And that's him walking out with unpaid merchandise. That's his truck. That's the customer's truck.
You got the tag of the truck?
Nah, when it was turning, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the tag of the truck. This customer comes every day. Everybody knows him. So this is one.
So whenever he come back, you want to press charges on him too?
Yeah.
You just call us and he's going too. So they have the full package over there.
Yeah. So this here, he's taking brand new merchandise off the shelf and pushing that merchandise out the door. He's standing there. He's the key holder at the door. He just lets the door up and lets the guy walk out. So that was $1,200 in merchandise. I was here this day on the 17th, him and I both. He takes these out. It's a charger and battery, double pack batteries, $179, $149. He gives it to him, right? He watches him we watch this live.
Thank you.
We watch this live. He takes the batteries and stuff, and right here, he hides it in between the lumber and then stacks more lumber on top of it.
That's the employee.
That's the employee there.
Got it.
So he gives this power to this customer. He watches him hide it in between the lumber, and that's him going out with it, walking out with all that merchandise. I'm paid for. Again at the door. This is a totally different. I don't even know who this. This is one that Atlanta found. You got towel. You got a Ryobi pressure washer. Some other towel on the bottom. Basically, what they did, they just loaded all the stuff up. And he just let him go out the back. And that was a total of $783. And here's the Whopper. He took this out, brand new plywood, and just loaded it. Never came back in with it. We don't know who the hell it is. $3,200 in that.
He got a very nice business going on.
Yeah, he told me he had something going on here.
Most likely, there's more to it because
yeah.
probably he knows people and he tell them, "Hey, listen, you send me people and whatever they need, I put them over there and they pay me on the left or whatever."
Yeah.
But anyways, you got the proof, so
Yeah, we got video. All this and
I'm gonna need your information because you're gonna have to show up in court with your phone number and everything, so we can let's grab them.
You want to walk him down or?
Yeah, get ready.
No. I'm gonna get him. Yeah, he's gonna get arrested anyways.
Okay.
You know what? Early in probably can tell me because
There is no.
no hiding.
Darian's with HR right now in his office. I can tell him to turn him.
Yeah, because that's the Home Depot seat. We have a time number before PD takes it.
Okay.
You want me to call you as soon as?
Yeah.
So.
To do this for the same customer over and over again, he's got to be giving me something.
Yeah, of course.
It's crazy. And when I watched it live on the 17th, May 17th, we were in the office. I was like, did he watch him hide that product in between there? And I'm like, so that's what he was telling me. Oh, maybe I forget. I never checked receipt.
And he never came to pay nothing. He just walked out in that door in the back of it.
He goes over there with an empty lumber cart. We watch him load it. He just goes right out. He never goes over here. And his thing is, no, I tell him to go over and pay, but if he don't pay, it's not my fault.
Oh, yeah.
Really? You know you're supposed to check receipts? No. Maybe I forgot. I got a lot of stuff going on in my head. That's me too. I have to do my job.
So what's that?
That's crazy.
It's crazy, man. About 2 years. And this customer, everybody, all the managers know him. Say, yeah, he comes every day and walks around all day. But I think he just built a relationship with this guy and just took him.
Yeah.
Which is,
So just when you see the other guy, especially he's in the afternoons or whatever, I'm working afternoon, just give us a call and I come over here.
help him out to come and talk to
Oh,
him.
he's Hispanic?
He's Hispanic. To translate. He was giving him pushback. He was like, oh, you're accusing me? And I was like, look, when corporate sends us stuff, they confirm it before they send it to us. That way we're not sitting down in front of an associate not knowing what we're talking about. They confirm everything. They send it dead on. None of that merchandise is paid for. He was around that same customer go in and out. And they just sent us back. They just sent us back a color packet. That's what the packet looks like. That's how it starts off. That's the amount lost. He gives us a breakdown of the overview, like when it started. That's his name. They give us date by date what merchandise went out. That's the day I was actually here. I saw that live. So they give us a breakdown of the total, and then they just start giving us, that's his information there. Where he lives. And then basically what went out. They give us a picture of the merchandise.
Done?
Okay. So,
All right.
where we at?
Right here.
This is every number.
Hello, sir.
Every number.
How are you? What's your name? Huh? Same, right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Listen, the company want to press charges. Okay. So this is what I need you to do. You have any knife or anything on you right now? Just don't reach for anything. I'm asking. Do you have anything on you? Yes. Okay. Stand up. Put your hands on the wall.
Very little English, so I'm not sure.
Oh. Pon las manos en la pared. Arriba. No te vayas a mover, ¿ok? Okay, we're gonna take this off. Se quita. You guys want the teacher?
A picture?
No, the teacher. The teacher is yours? No?
he's fine.
This is yours? Whatever is yours, you want it? IDs?
No. He should be
Nothing?
good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Oye, brother, give me your hand. Dame tu mano. Vírate de espalda. Escúchame lo que te estoy diciendo. Vírate, dame las manos. Te estoy diciendo que te vires y me des la mano. Hey,
¿Por qué está pasando esto?
listen to me. Give me your hand.
Discúlpeme, señor.
Give me your hand.
¿Por qué me
Pon las
hace
manos atrás.
así si yo no hice
Pon las
nada?
manos atrás, te voy a meter un teizazo.
Por favor, manito.
Pon las manos atrás.
¿Cómo van a hacer eso?
Pon las manos atrás. Oye, pon las manos atrás, te voy a meter con el taser. Put your hands in the back.
Yo no me dejo de trato, yo no he hecho nada malo. Pues yo no soy mala persona, no soy.
Ok, mi hermano, vamos para afuera.
Y mis cosas,
Aquí están.
mi teléfono,
¿Dónde está tu teléfono?
en el iPhone que usted me quitó.
¿En el qué?
En el iPhone que usted me
¿Aquí?
quitó. Pero yo quisiera entender primeramente por qué está pasando esto.
Ok,
Yo
te están acusando de robo y vas a ir preso por eso.
Que no, que yo no he robado nada.
Ok, bueno, eso lo tienes que probar en la corte, ¿ok?
¿Podría llamarlo ahorita antes de que me lleve, por favor? Porque eso no fue lo que...
Ok, escúchame lo que te estoy diciendo. Ellos hicieron una investigación, ok, y ellos quieren presentar cargos. Tu inocencia la vas a tener que probar en la corte, no aquí. Ok, este no es el momento ahora. Ellos están presentando cargos y yo te estoy arrestando. En estos momentos te estoy diciendo que salgas por la puerta conmigo, ok. No me hagas tener que sacarte. Vamos.
Yo entiendo, señor oficial. Denme un minuto nada más, se lo pido,
Ok,
por favor.
dime.
Pónganse en mi lugar.
Ajá.
soy un trabajador aquí, un supervisor aquí, y un día me llamaron, me sentaron aquí y me acusaron de que alguien salió por la puerta y que él se llevó la mercancía, pero yo es simplemente que yo estuve en la puerta, yo no he sacado nada.
¿Cuál es el trabajo tuyo? Revisar la mercancía que tenga papeles, ¿no?
Correcto.
¿Tú revisaste los papeles?
Yo siempre reviso.
¿Revisaste los papeles? ¿Sí o no?
Siempre reviso.
¿Revisaste los papeles?
Sí, señor.
¿Y por qué no va?
Ese es el detalle de que ellos justamente a mí me están diciendo de que
Bueno,
yo...
ok, escúchame. Ya ellos quieren presentar los cargos, ¿ok? Tú estás despedido de Home Depot, tú vas a ser traspasado aquí no puedes venir más. Ahora, eso lo vas a tener que probar en la corte, ¿ok? Eso lo vas a tener que probar en la corte, ¿ok? Así que ahora ya tú estás arrestado, estás preso. Ya no hay nada que puedas hacer para quitar eso. Te estoy diciendo que vamos a salir para allá afuera, ¿ok? Vamos para mi carro, te sientas ahí y después te explico cómo es el proceso. Vamos. Aquí tengo tu teléfono y tu cartera. Vamos. Ven. Vamos. Vamos, ven. Oye. Vamos, bro, no me vas a jalar. Vamos, papo, camina, no me vas a empujarte, dale.
Dios mío, de verdad. Esto es una injusticia, loco. Es una injusticia, hermano. Yo no he hecho nada y mira cómo me está sacando. De verdad, discúlpenme, pero esto no es lo correcto. Mucha gente me conoce aquí y sabe lo que estoy haciendo y no es justo lo que me han hecho en la oficina. Me sentaron para hablar conmigo, mire cómo me están sacando.
Ok, eso lo tienes que hablar con tu abogado y defenderlo en la corte.
¿Por qué no me han dejado primero hablar con mi abogado entonces? Yo como ciudadano no merezco ser tratado así, como un delincuente, sacado así de esta manera. No entiendo.
Get in the car, bro.
Let's examine the constitutional framework. Under Florida statutes, section 812.014, theft is classified by value. Merchandise totaling over $10,000 triggers a felony of the third degree, carrying a maximum sentence of 5 years in state prison, and a $5,000 fine under Florida statutes section 775.082. Corporate's packet confirmed the stolen items through SKU-level inventory data, establishing a clear and documentable loss figure, a critical threshold in felony charging. The more significant charge here is conspiracy under Florida statutes, section 777.04. Conspiracy requires two elements: an agreement between two or more parties, and an intent to commit an underlying criminal offense. Both are present here without ambiguity. The supervisor actively assisted in concealing power tools within lumber stacks, opened a restricted loading exit, and allowed unpaid merchandise to leave repeatedly. Critically, he checked receipts for other customers, but not for this individual. That selective omission is not negligence, it is evidence of intent. Florida courts have consistently held that intent in theft cases can be inferred from circumstantial conduct. See State v. Williamson, 458 So, 2D6 1 FLA, 3D DCA 1000, 984. The employee's son was also arrested. Under the same section 777.04, a conspirator need not be physically present at each theft event. Participation in the planning or facilitation of even one instance is sufficient to establish co-conspirator liability for the entire scheme. This is consistent with the Pinkerton doctrine, adopted in Florida jurisprudence, under which all co-conspirators bear liability for acts committed in furtherance of the conspiracy. Now, the pre-arrest interrogation by loss prevention raises a procedural question that directly affects evidentiary value. Miranda v. Arizona, 384 U.S. 4361966, requires that Miranda warnings be given before custodial interrogation by law enforcement. Loss prevention is not law enforcement. Under Illinois v. Perkins, 496 U.S. 2921990, and Florida's own application of Miranda, statements made voluntarily to private parties, including employers, are admissible even without Miranda warnings, because there is no state action triggering constitutional protection. The supervisor's partial admission to LP that he allowed the customer to leave with merchandise is therefore fully admissible as a voluntary statement. However, once law enforcement arrived and the arrest was initiated, any further questioning required Miranda compliance. The post-handcuff statements made by the supervisor continuing to deny involvement or offer explanations could be challenged if Miranda had not yet been administered. If excluded, the prosecution's case remains intact because the video surveillance evidence and LP's corporate documentation stand independently. Regarding the arrest itself, the officer had probable cause under Florida Statute Section 901.15, which authorizes warrantless arrests when a felony has been committed and the officer has reasonable grounds to believe the subject committed it. Both conditions were met prior to contact. The use of handcuffs during the arrest was consistent with Graham v. Connor, 490 U.S. 386-1989, which requires force analysis under an objective reasonableness standard. A felony third-degree arrest in an enclosed retail environment with an uncooperative subject who had not yet been searched reasonably supports low-level physical control measures. The officer's use of Spanish during the arrest commands warrants brief note. This is not just a courtesy, it has direct legal significance. Under fair v. Michael C. 442 US 707 979 and its progeny, waiver of Miranda rights must be knowing, voluntary, and intelligent. If a subject has limited English proficiency, failure to communicate rights in an understandable language can render any waiver invalid. The officer's bilingual engagement directly protected the admissibility of any post-Miranda statements made after rights were administered. Now, grading each party. The officer receives a B+. Probable cause was solid, the arrest was legally sound, and the use of Spanish demonstrated professional competence that strengthened the constitutional integrity of the arrest process. The deduction comes from an unconfirmed Miranda timeline in the footage. In a high-value felony case going to court, precise Miranda compliance is non-negotiable. Any ambiguity in that record creates an unnecessary suppression risk on what should otherwise be a straightforward prosecution. The lumber supervisor receives a D. His criminal exposure covers grand theft, conspiracy, and potentially dealing in stolen property under Florida statutes. Section 812.019. If the contractor resold the merchandise, a reasonable inference given the volume and repetition. His post-arrest conduct, continuing to offer contradictory explanations, further undermines any future credibility as a defense witness in his own proceeding. The one element that prevents an F. He did not physically resist, which kept the situation from escalating into additional charges. Loss prevention receives an A-. The investigation was methodical surveillance, corporate verification, documented evidence packets, and controlled subject detention prior to police arrival. These are the elements that make a prosecution survivable in court. The deduction. LP had multiple opportunities to photograph or record the co-conspirator's vehicle tag across repeated visits and failed to do so. That one evidentiary gap forced reliance on the subject returning voluntarily to build the case against the external actor. The key takeaways from this incident apply broadly. First, employer investigations are not bound by Miranda. Statements made to HR or loss prevention before law enforcement involvement are admissible, giving employers significant investigative leverage. Second, a pattern of selective omission treating one individual differently, without explanation, is direct circumstantial evidence of criminal intent. Third, conspiracy liability is not limited to the primary actor. Anyone who facilitates, assists, or coordinates becomes legally exposed to the full scope of the scheme. Fourth, in bilingual arrest situations, ensuring rights are communicated clearly in the subject's dominant language is both a legal obligation and evidentiary protection. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to cover in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our second channel, Audit the Court, for more police interaction and courtroom content.